Bonjour, mes petits criminals. My name is Hercule Poirot, the greatest clown detective that has ever lived. And I am from Belgium, where they have the greatest buns. They also have men with bottoms who have nice buns too. So, today, we are going to investigate a story, a narrative by our good friends Flog and Todd. It is called a lost button, but it is not lost, it is stolen. And we need to find out together who it is that has stolen the button. So, will you come with me and we will find out. So, Todd and Frog went for a long walk. They was clearly not in lockdown. They walked across a large meadow. They walked in the woods. They walked along the river. At last they went back home to Todd's house. "Oh, drat," said Todd. "Not only did my feet hurt, well, if you hadn't broken down the lockdown, but I have lost one of my buttons on my jacket." "I suspect it is not lost, it is stolen." "Don't worry," said Frog. "We will go back to all the places where we walked. We will soon find your button." Now, the question is, was that an essential journey? N'est-ce pas? I don't know. They walked back to the large meadow. They began to look for the button in the tall grass. "It is your button," cried Frog. "That is not my button," said Todd. "That button is black. My button was white." Todd put the black button in his pocket. A sparrow flew down. "Excusez-moi." "Excuse me," said the sparrow. "Did you lose a button?" "I found one." "That is not my button," said Todd. "That button has 2 O's. My button has 4 O's. Todd put the button with the 2 O's in his pocket. He's a bit of a thief, I think, n'est-ce pas? This Todd? Methinks maybe. They went back to the woods and they looked on the dark paths. "It is your button," said Frog. "That is not my button," cried Todd. "That button is small. My button was big." Oh, Todd, he liked to boast, n'est-ce pas? Todd put the small button in his pocket. A raccoon came out from behind a tree. "I heard you were looking for a button," he said. "Here is one that I just found." Maybe it is stolen also. No. "That is not my button." "Well, Todd, that button is square. My button was round. My button is getting rounder and rounder because I keep sitting on it and eating, but that is another thing." Todd put the square button in his pocket. Frog and Todd went back to the river. They looked for the button in the mud. "It is your button," said Frog. "That is not my button," shouted Todd. "That button is thin. My button was thick, and my button is getting thicker." Todd put the thin button in his pocket. He was very angry, n'est-ce pas? He jumped up and down and screamed, "The whole world is covered with buttons, and not one of them is mine." Todd ran home and slammed the door. Boosh! He's like an adolescent, n'est-ce pas? There, on the floor, he saw his white, old, big, round, thick button. Oh, he was not stolen? No? What am I doing here? I'm a detective, not a lost property. Oh, n'est-ce pas? "Oh," said Todd, "it was here all the time. What a lot of trouble I have made for Frog. Well, I would certainly send you a bill, Mr. Todd, for wasting my time." Todd took all of the buttons out of his pocket. He took his sewing box down from the shelf. Todd sewed the buttons all over his jacket. The next day, Todd gave his jacket to Frog. Frog thought that it was treasurely, very beautiful. He put it on and jumped for joy. None of the buttons fell off. Todd had sewed them on very well. The end. So, after all, it was not a thief. It was merely absent-mindedness. Oh, n'est-ce pas? That is not good. Right, now I must go. I have to go and solve the great, great mystery of where did my chocolate bar go. Maybe I eat it, maybe not, n'est-ce pas? Okay, and I have to go meet my friend, Captain Bogner Regis, and we will then go for a little soirée, n'est-ce pas? So, my good friends, you have a nice sleep. And this is Hercule Poirot, the greatest crown detective, saying to you, au revoir, bonsoir mes amis.